Now, I really couldn't think of a better time to record this video. I've been sitting on this for a while, waiting for the right time, and there is no more right time than now. I'm currently back home after what some might call quite an eventful morning. This is my very at home cattle dog, Lily. If you've not met her yet, maybe you've seen her on my Instagram page, but she's a 10-year-old cattle dog that thinks she is a lap dog, but she's my heart and my soul, and she always reminds me to come back to compassion. Now, I want to share my morning with you because this has everything to do with the Be Here method and how we can return to presence in times of chaos and allow ourselves to remain calm so that we look after our digestive system and our nervous system. Now, I'm Meg. I've written the book Watch Ya Language. I know some of you have purchased it, some of you might not have yet, but this video can help you whether you have or have not read my book so far. Now, the Be Here method is something that really helped me return to a place of presence. I spent nearly 30 years in disordered eating. And through those 30 years, my choices, my actions, and my behaviors were very much linked into a limiting belief of me not feeling enough as I was. At the age of 6 years old, I chose to believe the words of a girl that was in my school that said, "You're not pretty enough to be on our team." And from that day, I took her words and I turned it into my story. That was my choice. 30 years later, when I finally acknowledged that I had been the creator of the world that had unfolded in front of me after all those years, by actually leaning into the awareness of my choices, my decisions, my dialogue, and my behavior, I was then able to do something about it. And that's when Watch Your Language started. I started to lean into research about the brain and our nervous system from teachers such as Dr. Daniel Siegel, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and of course from Stephen Porges and the polyvagal theory. All of those teachings are still teachings that I continually brush up on myself because we are always the student and we are always learning. So today, as I was driving to Sydney to meet with a speaker regarding some workshops for kids and teens regarding mental health, my affirmation this morning as I woke up was today is going to be life-changing, right? Today is going to be a game changer, and it certainly has been. So as I'm on my way to Sydney listening to Parachute Youth, You Can't Get Better Than This, my car decides to blow smoke the moment I enter the freeway on the way to Sydney. And I literally make sure that no one's behind me. I pull to the left, and the first words out of my mouth is thank you. In that moment, choosing to say thank you was definitely not part of my behavior not so long ago, right? I would have chosen to got frustrated. I would have got angry and pissed off. And instead of saying thank you, I would have likely have said fuck you. And I would have been agitated and reactive. And to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to do what I've been able to do. So I was on my way to Sydney for a meeting, of course, and in that moment when it happened, I knew that I needed to look after myself. I had smoke coming from the bonnet, so I did shift into my spinal sympathetic state, right? Fight, flight. Plus there was cars going 120 Ks next to me. So I've got out of the car, I have walked away from it just in case it might have blown up. I don't know enough about cars to do that. But I walked away and I have just paused and I placed my hand on my chest and one hand on my belly, and I took 5 really deep breaths on the side of the road, and I'm like, I'm safe, I'm okay, thank you. I'm safe, I'm okay, thank you. And I actually repeated the first 3 steps of the Be Here method. I see you, body, tension. I feel you, emotion, fear, and it's okay. What is it that my heart needs right now? To tell myself I'm safe. So that's what I did on the side of the road this morning. I then rang my mechanic and I'm like, okay, dude, there's smoke coming from my bonnet. Is it going to blow up? And he's like, I don't know. Let's find out. Anyway, he's like, so he's like, why don't you go over and just pop the bonnet and look inside and just see if there is any fire coming from the motor. And I was like, all right, stay on the phone with me just in case this is it. You'll be the last person I speak to, but it's been really nice knowing you. So I walked up to the car, looking in there. I'm like, no fire, great stuff. He's like, pop the bonnet, da-da-da. Car's fine. I'm good. I'm safe. I'm okay. Took a few breaths, sat in the car because it just started to rain. I rang the guys that I was supposed to have the meeting with in Sydney. I said, look, I'm here on the side of the road. I'm good. I'm ready to go for the meeting. Let's hook it up by Zoom. We had our meeting. All was perfect. Some really great stuff went down. And I was able to just get through my day in that moment. Got a tow truck, car's back at Redhead. I'm here now doing this video, and that's now in my past. Now, this was all to do with the Be Here method, and this is why I wanted to share this today. So I speak about that consistently in my book, Watch Your Language, because this method helps me immensely, and it's not my teachings, it's things that I have been exposed to over the years when I looked into doing my own healing from my eating disorder as to why I was so reactive and why I was firing and wiring the same neurons and the same synaptic connections that were keeping me stuck in the first place. So I want this video to be a reminder that you can use this method anytime when we feel we are tipped out of balance, like I was today, from our ventral vagal circuit right down into our spinal sympathetic. I thought I would just drop in some of the course notes here so you can get a quick understanding of the polyvagal theory and those 3 states of the autonomic nervous system. Feel free to screenshot that and have a look. If you want to know more about the polyvagal theory and how we can recognize the somatic response in our body, there'll be a little bit of a link here and also in the comments, and you can join me for a live workshop. I'm doing them at the moment across New South Wales on our nervous system reset and how we can actually tune in when we are living in our spinal sympathetic or down the ladder down into our dorsal vagal. It is so important to recognize that, and that's what I had to do today. I noticed the tension, I honored it, but I did not need to live there because I was safe. I was fine. I did not need to put my digestive system under pressure and stress. And I was able to return really quickly back to equilibrium so that I could be present to have the conversation I did today. It was a really big meeting that I had today, and there's no way that I could have done that if I was still living in my stress state. I wouldn't have been able to think clearly. I would have been anxious. I would have been nervous, and I wouldn't have been able to be my full authentic self. So these teachings are really important. The link will be below for those workshops. But now I want to just share with you what the Be Here method actually is. Now, if you have read my book, you'll notice that I do refer to it twice through the book. And my intention with this method is for you to share it to your kids as well. The acronym Be Here, of course, is exactly that. It's about being present, because if we are in a state of autopilot or reactivity, there is no way that we can make a good choice, and there is no way that we can shift our shitty self-talk if we are in a constant state of reactivity and autopilot. So our job as humans in the world we're in today, because we are going to get triggered, we are going to have situations like I had today that are going to push our buttons and challenge us and flip our world upside down for a moment or two, is to bring ourselves back to equilibrium and equanimity as quickly as possible. So as I was moving through my healing, and I didn't realize it until I actually started writing, I was using this Be Here method almost as a affirmation, right? When I noticed my dialogue move back to that of shitty self-talk and not feeling enough, I would actually start to lean in and say thank you and feel it in my body. So the affirmation goes like this: I see you, body, right? Tight shoulders, right? Chest breathing, bloated belly, poor digestion, skin breakout, right? Losing my hair because that was what was happening. I see you, body. I feel you emotion. I feel you anxiety. I feel you fear. I feel you doubt. I feel you worry. I feel you judgment, right? It's an emotion. And then say the words, it's okay. I see you, body. I feel you emotion, and it's okay. Then the third step, what is it that my heart needs? And I would offer myself compassion. When I was healing, the words I would say to myself was, you know what? I choose to be kind to you today. Because I couldn't tell myself I loved myself. I wasn't there. I was nowhere near that. But what I could do was choose to be kind. So what is it that my heart needs? And I was like, I choose to respond. I empower myself with knowledge so that I can choose to respond, not react, to shift my energy. And that was my affirmation before I even knew it was the Be Here method. When I started writing the book, I realized 3/4 of the way in that I had a method to share. And this is it. It comes from a lot of my spiritual teachers, my yoga teachers, my movement teachers. They talk about seeing things as they are in Buddhism and to embrace it as it is. And this has been the most profound teachings that still are with me to this day. To be able to see things as they are and sit in the moment as it is without trying to change it, fix it, judge it, criticize it, or make it any different. We can then move through it in that moment. Now, in my book, I talk a lot on samskaras. Samskaras are impressions. They are things we have clung to or things we have resisted, and it is energy that stays stuck in our body. So when we are triggered in our environment, right, these samskaras gather up energy and they rise to the surface, and immediately we feel triggered because of an experience that happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or in my experience, 30 years ago, and we are just reliving the past consistently. So when we can be in the moment as it is, like today, to go, okay, this moment's really hard right now, but I'm safe, I'm okay, I was not in a life-threatening situation, I can still choose to stay calm within the chaos. And this is where the Be Here method comes in. So just breaking this down, and again, this is in my book, but this video, I want you to know that this is so simple. Write this down and put it on your fridge, right? You'll have the notes to also refer back to this. B stands for body. Honor what is here. I see you, body. Right? What I mentioned before, if we're living in fight, flight, intention, and stress, which I go through in the workshops, you'll notice your trapezius and SCM muscle are locking on. These are in relation to cranial nerve 11, right? And again, our cranial nerves are a huge part of us. There are 5 specific cranial nerves that I go through in the workshop that play a huge role in whether or not we are sitting in our social engagement, our ventral vagal circuit, which is where we need to be, or if we are shifting down into spinal sympathetic. If any of these 5 cranial nerves, cranial nerve 5, 7, 9, 10, and 11 is out of whack, then we are going to be out of whack with our nervous system. So I see you, body. I guarantee you that 99% of the things that unfold in front of you do not require you to shut down your digestive system at all. So honor it, notice it, and name it. Right? And then I feel your emotion. What is the emotion attached? Because there is always an emotion, I guarantee you. If you are being triggered, your body will show you, or have a somatic experience in your body. There will be an emotion attached with that. So honor the emotion. I feel you anxiety. I feel you doubt. I feel you frustration. I feel you judgment. And then the words, it's okay. Give yourself permission to feel it. I spent 30 years numbing and running because I didn't want to experience what I was feeling in my body because it was too hard. But that stuff does not go anywhere. It manifests, it lifts weights inside of us, and it consistently asks for our attention. But if we continue to suppress and push down emotions and feelings, trust me, they will come out later on in life. And that is not when you want these emotions and feelings that we have suppressed to come out, because it's harder and harder to deal with them the older we get. So give it permission to be there. I see you, body. I feel your emotion, and it's okay. The 3rd step, what is it that my heart needs? Do some yoga, offer compassion, journal, hug your friend, have sex, play with your dog, get outside in nature, jump in the ocean, move. Find the thing that your body needs in that moment. Be compassionate to yourself. 4th step, empower yourself with knowledge. Get to know your brain. Study people like Dr. Joe Dispenza and neuroplasticity. Get to know what's going on when we have a thought, what actually starts to hardwire and becomes our program if we continue to give that attention. right? Get to understand your autonomic nervous system and get to know when we're living in stress and fight, flight, or down into dorsal, into freeze, like where I was living. Get to know your body from the inside out. Don't be an ostrich and put your head in the sand. The things are going on. It is asking for our attention. Our bodies are our biggest teacher. Empower yourself with knowledge to respond, not react. Because when we are empowered with knowledge and we understand that our thoughts and our dialogue creates what we are seeing externally, we can then do something about it. So we can choose, like I did today, to respond with awareness and presence rather than react and let that take over my whole day, right? It is so important. The last step, of course, is it shifts your energy. And when we shift our energy, that is a vibration. And when we shift our energy, right, this is where the goodness is. The rest of your day will match the vibration that you are putting out. So already today, I've had some amazing things unfold today. That was just one moment in my day. But it certainly is not going to ruin the rest of my day because I choose to leave that back there. Now that is up to us. The Be Here method is something that anyone can use, and my hope to you is that you share this down to your kids. It's so easy for the world they are in, especially with social media, of course, which I talk about a lot, to be triggered in our environment, to simply feel we are not enough as we are. But our authenticity, right, our true self, the version of us that is dying for us to let us in, comes from this place of love and compassion and acceptance. I want you to know that you are more than enough just as you are, right? Without the need for more, without the label, without the filter, without the losing 10 kilos to get to there, without the house. You are more than enough just as you are. You have all you need. It's already within us. If we are always searching, we'll always be looking. Right? When we can see the world through different lens, Wayne Dyer once said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Our whole world starts to change. It comes from being present. This is what the Be Here method is. It's a method to bring us back to presence in times when we feel we are knocked out of balance and equilibrium, so that we can then make a choice to choose to be kind. And with kindness to ourselves comes love for ourselves. With love for ourselves comes love out in the world. Change is up to us. We can't fix or change another. We must be the light that we wish to see in the world. And that starts with you, and that starts with me. My name's Meg. I'm from Watch Your Language. I hope you got something out of this. Please leave a message in the comments as to how the Be Here method has helped you. I would love to know. If you are looking to order my book, jump onto the link below through Booktopia or through my website, or you can go into your local bookstore and ask them to order it in for you if it's not already on the shelves there. If you are looking to attend one of my workshops, again, the link is below in the comments. When we can regulate our nervous system ourselves, when we can have a conversation with our nervous system and go, you know what, this situation is just uncomfortable and unpleasant, but I am okay. I guarantee you so much change can come from there. Guys, I'm a woman on a mission to change the world. It starts with our dialogue. My intention to you, the reader, the listener, is to shift our dialogue from that of comparison and judgment to acceptance and self-compassion. And when you do that, you give permission for another person to do the same. With love and so much light and gratitude. Take care, watch your language, leave a comment below for me to let me know how the Be Here method helps you. And thank you as always for all your support. I appreciate you.
Yeah.